Hi, welcome everybody. Today in this video I'm going to be giving you guys my top 10 tips and tricks for Wizards 101 based off of my experience with the game. And these tips can be used for both new players and even veteran players of the series. So let's get started with tip number 10. With tip number 10, it's going to be really kind of based on training points here. You use training points to go into schools that are not necessarily your own. So like for instance, I have some spells from Death. I had to use 6 training points to get all the way up to Faint. You can get spells from other schools that are not your own. However, you gotta know which ones you want to use. Like for instance, Death, Faint is going to be the best thing from Death for pretty much every school, including Death itself. Balance, literally every school will benefit from the Elemental Blades or the Spirit Blades. Literally every school will benefit from that. If you're not of the school of balance, this will cost you training points. If you're from your own school, like for instance, Death has Faint, this won't cost a Death person any training points to try and go for this because it's their own school. If you guys want a more in-depth tutorial as to like how training points work and the best things to use your training points for, I'd click the card up above here. That'll take you to my video as to like how to get training points and the best way to use them. But moving on to tip number 9. And for tip number 9 here are going to be TC enchants. Now I don't have any on me unfortunately, but the one we're going to be really talking about here is the monstrous TC spell here. This can be obtained by any player level 1 through all the way up to 170. And basically, as you can see right here on the card, the TC version is literally the exact same. It adds 175 extra damage to one spell that you enchant it with. This is really, really good, especially early on in the game, to help kind of steamroll you from, say, Wizard City all the way up into Celestia. Now, the best way to get it here is going to be 3 ways. I'll tell you guys the least favorite ways all the way up to the best way to get them. So the first way is obviously the Bazaar over in Old Town. The only problem with the Bazaar is that the Bazaar only has a limited amount because the Bazaar only has as much as how many people sell to it and how many people take from it. So sometimes the Bazaar has a whole bunch, sometimes they don't really have any, and sometimes they just have a select amount. Now, the other place to get them is in Celestia by the Archivist, unless you are not to Aztec or Celestia yet and you have someone port you there. The other way to do it without having someone to port you to it is by going to the Arcanum. Now, you may be wondering, well, how do I get to the Arcanum as a low level if the Arcanum is in Arc 3? Well, I'll show you. So you basically just go into this little like housing thing, you know, where you rate castles and stuff when they're tied to that event. And you just come over to my girl over here. You go to visit a castle. Let's say top rated, top decky rated. Now, what you're going to be looking for here is the Arcanum apartment right here. Essentially, once you are in, holy crap, that's a lot. Once you're in here, you're going to basically turn around to the door and you're gonna go right out it. Even as a low level, you can even get here. My character is 86, so I have no business being here. But you can still get to the Arcanum by just simply going to someone's apartment. Now, who you want to talk to is my boy Fitzzoom over here. And my boy Fitzzoom is going to have your monstrous TCs for 250. Now, both the Arcanum, the Archivist over in Celestia, and the Bazaar are all going to sell them for 250. But this is where you can kind of get a whole bunch of them, like say 261. Monstrous TCs, highly recommend. It'll give you an insane boost in early game, and it can help steamroll you through early game a lot faster. But moving on to tip number 8. Piggybacking off of the TC enchants, you might have noticed it's going to cost you a bit of gold, especially if you want a lot of the monster spells. Now, the best way to get gold, unfortunately, I still see people who in big 2025 still going for like the 50,000 gold pouch from the crown shop, or the 25,000 gold pouch, or even the 10,000 gold pouch. Now, as you can see here, they're worth crowns. Crowns are worth money. Why are we spending money on easy currency that you can get in the game? It just poof, mind-boggling. Especially because like literally there are two good ways to sell your stuff in Wizards 101, right? The first way is quick sell, right? If you are in a dungeon and you need to make some room really, really quick, or you can't even be bothered to go to the Bazaar, that's the quick sell, right? Like you go over here, let me find an item. Okay, right here, these shoes right here, the fiery great boots, right? I can sell these for 881 gold, right? 881 gold. Keep that in your mind, right? 881 gold, right? Now, the other way, because I mentioned 2 ways, the best way other than quick sell to sell your stuff is simply going to the bazaar. All right, now once we're at the bazaar here, simply you just go to, you sell your equipment. Now those shoes, remind you, quick sell, 881. If we go over here, look at that, 3,517 gold, brother. Look at that, look at that. Bazaar, great way to sell things because you get the most for your items, especially with the ad, no auction stuff. You can even sell things that you normally couldn't sell before and get more than you could through the quick sell process. But yeah, if you're gonna sell anything, come to the bazaar. Just take some time, come to the bazaar. It'll save you a lot in terms of like how much gold you could get back. And you know, if you're especially if you say like are like me and you wait to sell things after you are either completed a world or you're just about to complete a world, look at all the gold that you could get from that. You know what I mean? Like at that point there is literally zero reason to have to come in here and buy gold. Honestly, the same could be said for the Lunarium too, but this especially goes for the gold. Gold. There's no reason, no reason nobody should be spending real money on gold on easy currency. You know, come on now, it's big 2025. Let's move on from that. Anyways, going on to tip number 7. So tip number 7, again, same thing with the gold. I still unfortunately see people going for the mega snack pack. Now, again, similarly to the mega snack pack, like the thingamabob says over here, it only gives you 7 for 2,500 crowns. That's like $5 USD currency without tax. $5 for only 7 mega snacks. You know, that's a whole lot, especially if you're pet training. Oh my God, you're gonna be there for days. You're gonna be like in credit card debt. You're gonna be like Peter Griffin, $36,000 in credit card debt. If you try and go with the mega snack rat, especially because there's like two good ways to get mega snacks, right? The first one, Mirror Lake. Everybody knows Mirror Lake and the Pixie Sticks. That's number 1 if you just want to farm, you don't want to garden. The second way, because I already kind of spoiled it, is gardening, right? Two best plants here. All right, now the best plants to use to get Magna snacks are my boy Magma Peas over here. Now, as you guys can see, let's go ahead and get some here. So let's see here. All right, now by just kind of trimming the herd a little bit there, we got some mega snacks. So we got some Mystic Dragon Fruit, as well as some Golden Wheat Bread, Fancy Yogurt and Captain Cantaloupe, 2 best ones because they give you the most. But essentially, this is like the best way to get mega snacks, and you can get a whole bunch of them. Like right here, I have a whole plot of 64 of these, right? So just naturally, right when they're ready to harvest, that's a lot. That's like 64 worth of mega snacks right there that you can grab because they drop some every time they drop some. It's really good. And then you add that on top of the member benefit doubled gardening XP where everything is times 2'd, right? Which basically means that if you get 1 mega snack from, let's say, 1 Magnum Pete, now you're getting 2 with the thingamabob, right? With the event. You know, it's an easy return rate that is higher than just going for the pack, and you don't have to keep spending money. These are always plantable, right? So like, I harvested it. I get the seed back every single time, right? You get it once, you plant it, and you got it forever. You know what I mean? As long as you plant it and take care of it, you're good. The other form of this, besides the mega evil magma peas over here, are the couch potatoes. Couch potatoes are easily farmable because you can actually farm those from some minions at an easier rate than you can the evil magma peas. So you're not actually having to use crowns. And in some cases, I think even the couch potatoes are easier to take care of. They don't have as many needs as, say, like the evil magma peas do. So they're a little easier to take care of. But if you guys want to, again, if you guys want a full depth guide on gardening, especially with the evil magma peas and the couch potatoes, where to get them, how to get them, all of that fun stuff that goes inside of that, let me know down in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to make a video on that. But moving into tip number 6. Now into tip number 6 here, the best way to kind of go through the worlds here and make your wizard the powerful it can be, the most powerful it can be, are going to be pets. Pets can be used to amplify your damage, like given my pet right here, with the quad damage. with the mighty spell to increase the damage on each of these stats right here, and then I've got a socketed spell proof there. Pets can be used to enhance your build, whether it's, again, like you see right here, whether it's a triple double, whether it's a double double may cast fairy, whether it's a all resist pet, an energy pet that's just strictly energy. Regardless of what it is, pets are going to be a great way to kind of amplify your build. The best way to use a pet or to train the pet is going to be in the training grounds of the commons in Wizard City by, again, using the mega snacks we just talked about in the earlier tip from gardening, right? That's essentially what it's used for. Now, in basic terms, that's very basic, right? You go over here to the pet pavilion and you train your pet using those mega snacks, right? Now, there's a whole thing, other thing that it would be an entire video in and of itself to go over pets here and how to get the best stats and all that fun stuff. So if you guys would like to see that be covered in a separate video, let your boy know. Your boy would be happy to do it, especially because I'm about to go through all that hot mess again for another wizard of mine for a new pet. So I'm about to go through all this hot mess again. So I'd be more than happy to make a video for you guys, because it's a whole lot of time, patience, and praying to the RNG gods. So moving on to tip number 5. Tip number 5 kind of piggybacks off of the pet training as well as the farming, gardening. You guys are going to want to have some good gear to use in order to have energy, right? So, because pet training, gardening, they all use pet energy. As you guys probably have seen from yourselves on your own wizards, you guys have select amounts, right? Like if I go to my maxed wizard here, regular base, I have a maxed out of 130 base. 130 base. That is not a whole lot to do nothing, especially if you're using one wizard to pet train and garden at the same time. Oh, forget it. You can't do it. However, you can use gear kind of similarly to pets here with the energy stats here. You can use gear to also do the same thing. So like your boy is pretty much running all arcane the gear set here, right? Because at max level 150, that's the max that this gear can go to. I get 26 for the robe. I get 30 for the boots. And then I get a 13 for the staff, or if I use my other staff here, where is it? Aha, there it is. I get 14. That also comes with the arcane bundle itself. Gives me a nice little 1-1, you know what I mean? So now my base of 130 now goes to a base of 278, as long as I have all this stuff equipped. So it makes taking care of a bunch of plants and training your pets so much easier, right? Especially if you're only doing one of those things at a time. Oh! You got like energy for days, The Splendid attire. This one is also going to be pretty good right here for 8,995 crowns. It's going to give you 15 across the board. Really easy stuff to start out with, like really easy energy gear to start out with. If I got to be honest by myself, it's really good to start out with. And again, like I said earlier, energy gear or energy can be used for both pet training and gardening, all that fun stuff. So if you're gonna go for one of those, I would highly recommend getting yourself some energy gear. But moving on to number 4. Now, the other thing I see happening here with this next tip here of tip number 4 are mounts, right? Mounts, unfortunately, there is a tab. Y'all have probably seen it in the crown shop here, where you got permanent and you got rental mounts. I don't know who in their right mind is spending crowns for rental mounts, but in case you're unfortunately that sad person, stop doing that. Now, there are easy ways to get mounts, right? Some come from packs, others come from like little bundles that you guys can get, like card bundles from like the grocery store, GameStop, the Wizard101 websites, the crown shop itself with all these mounts in here. Now, if you are, say, like me, like how I was in the early stage where my mother wouldn't want to give over her credit card so that I could get myself some nice mounts and I had to just walk like if I was in good old 1877 like my grandpappy going to school, then, it's going to be a hard life out there, especially because you're going to walk insanely slow. Now, the best way to get mounts, and you can get them, again, for gold, is going to my boy Prospector Zeke here, right? He gives you mounts, right? Granted, they're rental mounts, but you can get them with gold, right? So if I wanted to get this broom here 40 speed. That's like the default speed for mounts. You can get it for 1,429, and it'd be pretty cheap to grab because, you know, I showed you guys how to maximize your gold when you're selling your gear. So, right, so it should be pretty easy, and those should last you pretty well. Now, if you don't want to do rentals, well, I got the next step for you, because you just go to permanent here, and there are some stuff like you might be looking and being like, well, why do I got to go here? There's crowns. I don't got crowns. Well, there are some in here hidden, some sneaky bastards that are actually for gold. So you see here, take this proud lion for instance, right? You see, it's normally worth like, what is this, like 5,000 crowns? But you see this little sneaky tab over here. Normally, if you go to like this guy right here, it's just, yeah, it's gone. But it sneaks up on you. You click on that, bam, it's worth 90,000 gold. Now you guys can get yourself not only this, but then you see others that pop up too, like the Bengal tiger, the chestnut pony, the horned sweeper, and the blue dragon for gold. And you guys can get this for gold, and it's permanent. And again, based on the gold method I showed earlier, it'll be very easy for you guys to grab them. So if you're looking for amounts and you guys don't have one, I highly recommend doing that. It is very good, very good. That is very good. No reason to rental for crowns, because that's insanity. To step number 3. All right, so moving on to step number 3 here. Step number 3 is basically using the crown shop here to travel. Now, some things that they did to the crown shop where they updated it a little bit a hot minute ago, is you can kind of use the crown shop to travel, right? If you want to go to a world, like for instance, my character, Aaron here, is questing in Azteca for the walkthrough series, right? If I wanted to go back to Azteca, just click, go, and voila, I'm now back in Azteca. It's mind-boggling, right? Now, that only works for main quests, unfortunately. As you can see here, I've got a bunch of side quests in here. Now, if I had a side quest from, like, let's say I got one for Triton Avenue, right? I got it selected too, so that should be queued up, right? But if I go to the crown shop here, it's only going to show the main quest. That's kind of unfortunate a little bit. I kind of wish they'd change that. Do we get just a little bit? You know, it kind of is what it is. But so that only works for main quests, unfortunately. So if you guys are having a main quest and you're questing, I highly recommend using this. They're going back to the world tree every single time, and you guys can. Do you guys want to do that? But if you guys want to just get there lickety split like, just use the crown shop, right? Same thing goes for, like, say if I had the loyalty store, right? If I had new tokens to claim, simply just click on that. It teleports me back to the shopping district where my boy, the loyalty man, is here, right? And then bada bang, bada boom, right? And then if I want to go back to Azteca, right? Literally, bam, bam. It's as simply as 1, 2, motherfucking 3. You know what I mean? And bam, here we are, right back in there. Less than 2 seconds. You know what I mean? So using the crown shop is like a literal game changer in terms of using your time really, really efficiently to get from one place to another. Again, you guys can't go the other way, but you know, if you guys want to be really like lickety split with it and like, you know, put your nose to the grindstone, that's gonna be the easiest way to do it. So moving on now to tip number 2. All right, so tip number 2 here is at these increments here, there are some really good game-changing gear that can really change the way that you are questing through worlds here by making you a hell of a lot stronger. And those are gonna be levels 30, 60, technically 90, and level 100. Now, level 30, everybody probably already knows this, but Mount Olympus in Aquila, Mount Olympus is literally going to be a game changer for you at level 30, giving you, I'd arguably say, the best gear that you guys can get at level 30. Literally, the Zeus gear can literally carry your ass all the way up to level 60, even sometimes a little bit further than level 62. And it's just arguably the best gear to go for. So if you guys are at level 30 and having to go through the Aquila dungeon, it's a little side, get them good. I would highly recommend going for it because that gear is literally a game changer, especially if you're a solo player. Like if you're a solo player, you should really go for the Zeus gear. It's game changing. Game changing, absolutely. Like even if you're not going for like the full Zeus gear, you should really still do the Aquila dungeon for the Sky Iron Hosta that gives you extra 10 damage, and you only get that through the Zeus dungeon, and it's a guaranteed drop too. So it's a guaranteed drop. Like once you defeat the boss that has it, it's a guaranteed drop. So I'd highly recommend going for it, even just for the wand itself. But Level 60 is going to be Waterworks, and if not Waterworks, then even lower Zigzag. Some schools can benefit greatly from lower Zigzag than they can from Waterworks. I say level 90 technically, because some schools can get a boost from the Hades gear in Aquila at level 90, but I think pretty much every school kind of gets then outdone by the gear you can get at level 100 in Darkmoor. So if you're level 100, I'd highly recommend going for Darkmoor. And I honestly, I'd think also like, I'd really hate to say this, but I think even if you're level 90, I would say like you can still go through the Hades dungeon, but I wouldn't necessarily try and like spend hours trying to farm it to get all the Hades gear when you're just probably in most situations going to have to turn around and switch to the Darkmoor gear like not even 10 levels after. So that's why I say level 90 technically, but really level 100, go for Darkmoor. The Darkmoor gear could literally last you for like ages. Now moving on to tip number 1. Tip number 1 here is guilds. Essentially the way guilds work here is it allows you to join up in a guild with other players to do some extra fun stuff, activities like raids, for instance. That's how you do raids, is through guilds. It also allows you to like kind of be in a nice little tight-knit community there. Even if you can't find it on the game here, I'll pull up my Discord here so I can show you guys on the Discord. So as long as you guys are, bam, there's my Discord. So as long as you guys are, say, in the official Wizards101 Discord channel here, you guys can practically find anything here. I'm going to very quickly move my camera here because it's gonna be in the way over here. But essentially you guys are gonna want to go to so you guys are going to want to go over down here to Diego's Advanced Arena. It's going to be like kind of close to the bottom here, and it's going to be guilds. You guys are going to see all of these different guilds here that you guys could maybe click on and maybe join. So literally it's just as simple as that, going down here, finding a guild that you might think is for you and just hit and click and join. You can also find other things too, like, you know, PvP, advanced combat stuff. That's gonna kind of be it here for these top 10 tips here. Yeah, if you guys enjoy it, make sure to smash the like button. If you guys love seeing kind of guide content like this, make sure to let me know by smashing the like button. Let me know down in the comment section what other guide videos you guys would like me to do. If you guys are new to the channel, consider subscribing. I do post Wizards101, and we're doing a walkthrough series right now where my character, this character, is currently in Azteca. So if you guys want to see those, I'll leave a link in the description to the walkthrough series so you guys can go check it out. And I'll be seeing you guys all in the next one. Peace.